know you're still sitting there,
still feeling the air move, yeah. I left the glass on the counter, left the keys right by your hand, left a heavy silence in the room that you didn't quite plan. You're staring straight at the door, listening close to the floor, hoping the sound of my footsteps comes walking back through the door. But I'm already blocks away, laughing soft to myself, knowing I left my whole presence sitting right there on your shelf. It's a slow burning memory, a tagged out phrase you repeat. You're trying to shake off the warmth, trying to cool down the heat, but every voice in your ear just sounds like a shadow of mine. You're trying to reach someone else, but you keep losing the line. I'm the bittersweet aftertaste, lingering deep on your tongue, the unfinished sentence you keep, the melody left unsung, a deliberate exit I made, a calculated space that I left. I didn't just say my goodbyes, I committed a mental theft. Yeah, you can try to look forward, try to clear out your mind, but my flavor is locked in your throat, and it's all you can find. You poured a drink to forget me, tried to wash out the trace, but you're just staring at the rim, seeing the shape of my face. I'm the uninvited craver, making your standard taste numb, the silent heavy reminder of exactly where I came from. I watch your composure dissolve from across the city tonight. You're turning over in bed, wishing I stayed in your life. I'm the bittersweet aftertaste, lingering deep on your tongue, the unfinished sentence you keep, the melody left unsung, a deliberate exit I made, a calculated space that I left. I didn't just say my goodbyes, I committed a mental theft. Yeah, you can try to look forward, try to clear out your mind, but my flavor is locked in your throat, and it's all you can find. Still tasting it, good. Keep it on repeat until I come back. You walked into the crowded room and took the seat directly across from my view, never making direct eye contact, but doing every single thing you used to do. The way you cross your left leg, the way you tilt your head when you start to speak, a flawless subconscious choreography showing that your system is still incredibly weak. You claim that we are ancient history, telling everybody that you're completely detached, but your body language is a perfect mirror, showing that we're still entirely mashed. I don't even have to say a word to you to break down the front that you keep. Your subconscious is doing the talking while your pride is asleep. It's a quiet, physical reflex, an instinct that you cannot completely erase. Your hands are looking for my patterns, trying to find my shape in the space. You wanna believe that you're free now, standing on your own private floor, but the second that I step in the room, your habits come walking through the door. I'm the muscle memory, running through your frame when you're trying to act cool. You swore you tore the rule book apart, but your body is obeying the rule. A calculated presence, a sophisticated pull. Look at how easily you bend. I didn't have to force in reaction. Your instincts are writing the end. Yeah, you can tell your mind to forget me, trying to build a brand new defense. But your skin remembers my rhythm, and it's making your logic look dense. Your body doesn't lie, it remembers the exact layout. Yeah, right back where we belong. You've been trying to dissect me all night, looking for a pattern, looking for a flaw, but you're looking in the wrong mirror. Watch this. I watch you dissect every sentence, looking for a hidden key. You're building a complex equation just to try and calculate me, but you're using an outdated formula, running on a broken clock, trying to predict my next motion while I'm moving around the block. I'm the riddle you can't leave unanswered, the puzzle that keeps you awake, a beautiful psychological hazard that you are dying to take. It's a quiet installation, a file you didn't download, a slow burning complication, overloading your mental code. You wanna analyze the gravity, wanna measure the depth of the fall, but your screen is beginning to flicker and you can't decode it at all. I'm the parasite paradigm, shifting the way that you see. You try to inspect the design, but you got tangled in me. A calculated distraction, a permanent imprint I leave from the code, analytical whisper that you are starting to believe. Yeah, you thought you were studying lines, trying to see where they bend, but I already captured the map and redefined the whole end. You try to go back to your routine, try to pretend it's a phase, but my cadence is stuck in your memory, looping for days and for days. I'm the quiet internal monologue you can't seem to mute or erase, a permanent resident sitting right in your cognitive space. You check for a glitch in your system, looking for someone to blame, but I'm the director who stepped in and quietly upgraded the game. I'm the parasite paradigm, shifting the way that you see. You try to inspect the design, but you got tangled in me. A calculated distraction, a permanent imprint I leave. I'm the code, analytical whisper that you are starting to believe. Yeah, you thought you were studying lines, trying to see where they've been, but I already captured a map and redefined the whole end. System override, you can't uninstall me now, it's already part of your code. I watch you fight the gravity, you try to keep your stance, but every conversational turn is giving me a chance. You claim you hold the antidote, you say you know the cure, but the
closer that I step to you, the lines become a blur. I'm reading your reactions like a map you didn't draw. One look across the table and I break your finest law. This chemical dependency, it didn't see you right. A beautiful surrender just to feel yourself alive. You're looking for an exit, but your feet forget the floor. The more you try to leave it, you just trigger it some more. I'm the placebo effect running straight through your veins. You think you're getting better, but I'm holding the reins. A calculated friction, a deliberate touch. You swore it was a habit you could break just as much, but it's a sweet illusion that you take to get by. You're addicted to the fiction, and you don't even try. I whisper just to see how fast your breathing starts to change. I alter your perspective till the normal things look strange. You think you're pulling strings, but you're a puppet to the pace. I didn't steal your focus, you just handed me the space. Now every single craving that you hide behind your eyes is just another pattern that my system analyzes. I'm the placebo effect running straight through your veins. You think you're getting better, but I'm holding the reins. A calculated friction, a deliberate touch. Swore it was a habit you could break just as much, but it's a sweet illusion that you take to get by. You're addicted to the fiction, and you don't even try. But it feels so real, doesn't it? Yeah, keep it on repeat.
You said you had to leave early tonight, but you just ordered a second round, fumbling over your syllables, looking for reasons to stay on my ground. You meant to say it was time to go home, but it came out you're staying the night. A beautiful verbal mistake in the dark under the dim neon light. Yeah. I watched you try to correct it real fast, biting your lip with the blush, but you already let the truth out of the bag, breaking the tentative hush. I'm reading between all the spaces you leave, catching the words that you drop. We started a physical chain of reaction that you don't know how to stop. It's a magnificent slip of the tongue, a secret you couldn't defend. You try to pretend it was just an accident, trying to rewrite the end, but your posture is leaning right into my space, giving the answer away. You're running out of excuses to hide what you actually wanted to say. It's a Freudian slip, running loose in the room. Look how you're letting it show. You try to pull back on the reins of your mind, but your body is ready to go. A deliberate glance, a sophisticated twist. Your defenses are starting to break. I didn't expose what you hide in your head. It was just a beautiful mistake. Yeah, yeah. You call it a locking us into the groove. Yeah. You claim that you're totally sober and cool, keeping your logic intact, but you keep using my name in the sentences, making it look like a pact. I'm the unwritten thought that you try to suppress whenever you're trying to think. The sudden electric confession you make right at the edge of a drink. I watch your composure completely untied, leaving your pride on the shelf. You spent the whole evening defending your heart, but you just betrayed yourself. It's a Freudian slip running loose in the room. Look how you let it show. You try to pull back on the reins of your mind, but your body is ready to go. A deliberate glance, a sophisticated twist. Your defenses are starting to break. I didn't expose what you hide in your head. It was just a beautiful mistake. Yeah, you call it a casual slip of the phrase, but look at the way that we move. The truth is out on the floor tonight, locking us into the groove. Say it again, the way you actually meant it. Yeah, no filters left. You swear you have perfect balance. You swear you're standing on solid ground, but you're leaning in. Let's see how deep it goes. Yeah. I watch the color rush up to your face the second I call out your name. A sudden freeze in your steady stride. You're struggling to handle the game. You play with the ring on your finger, looking everywhere else but my eyes. A desperate defense mechanism, trying to cover your sudden surprise. But I can hear the shift in your breathing, the quiet surrender you hide. You're trying to step back to safety while I am pulling you right to my side. It's slow motion, tilt to the room. A sudden imbalance you feel, a whisper that touches your neck, making the fiction look real. You wanna pretend you're a rock, I'm moved by the weight of the night, but your knees are beginning to weaken the moment I step in your light. I'm the vertigo twist in your head, making everything spin around. You try to keep hold of your senses, but you can't even find the ground. A deliberate breath on your skin, a calculated pause that I leave. I didn't just capture your eyes, I altered the air that you breathe. Yeah, you call it a casual night, but look at the way that you sway. Every single step that you take just brings you closer to staying my way. You try to rehearse what to say, practicing lines in your head, but the moment you face me in person, you forget every word that you read. I'm the uninvited craving that messes up all of your plans. A sudden electric reaction that shivers right into your hands. I watch you fight your own pulse, trying so hard to stay cold, but I already broke through your guard and taking complete mental hold. I'm the vertigo twist in your head, making everything spin around. You try to keep hold of your senses, but you can't even find the ground. A deliberate breath on your skin, a calculated pause that I leave. I didn't just capture your eyes, I altered the air that you breathe. Yeah, you call it a casual night, but look at the way that you sway. Every single step that you take just brings you closer to staying my way. No software, no systems, just your hands shaking, just your heart racing. Lose your balance, I've got you. You keep adjusting your collar like the air in the room just got tight. Blaming the heat on the summer when you know it's the weight of the night. I see you tracing your glass, matching the beat of my stride. A rhythmic, beautiful panic that you are struggling to hide. You say you came here to dance, say you're just killing some time, but every step that you take is circling closer to mine. I don't need to read through your mind to know where your energy leans. The friction is doing the talking, rewriting our casual scenes. It's a natural pull, a sweet behavioral sync. We are moving past what we say, moving past what we think. Your shoulders drop when I look, your guard is starting to fade. Caught in the middle of a rhythm that we deliberately made. Let's do a temperature check. Look how you're melting away. You came with a calculated plan, but you don't know what to say. Essential will pivot, a beautiful tilt. Your hands are losing their code. I didn't break your defense, you just let go of the hold. Yeah, you call it a casual groove, but look at the way that we blend. The rhythm is taking your balance and dictating the end. Yeah. You try to pull back your hand, tryna step from the flame, but your feet are locked to my floor. You're playing a losing game. I'm the physical urge that you hide behind a polite little smile. The sudden intoxicating heat that's keeping you here for a while. I watch your confidence shift, turning from ice into steam. You wanted a simple distraction, but I became the whole fiend. Let's do a temperature check. Look how you're melting away. You came with a calculated plan, but you don't know what to say. Essential will pivot, a beautiful tilt. Your hands are losing their code. I didn't break your defense, you just let go of the hold. Yeah, you call it a casual groove, but look at the way that we blend. The rhythm is taking your balance and dictating the end. Too hot to handle, but you aren't leaving. Yeah. Follow the rhythm. You took 20 minutes just to type out a 3-word reply, changing your posture, adjusting your clothes, trying to craft a clean lie. But you forgot that your eyes tell the story, your hands try to fake. I can see the exact hesitation in every single breath that you take. You're acting detached and indifferent, playing it cool from the start, but the rhythmic shaking your fingers is pulling your cover apart. I know your routine before you can plan it. I see where you're going to style. You're building a fortress around you, but I've already measured the wall. It's a visible tell, a microscopic giveaway line. You're trying to look like the master, but you are responding to mine. Look at how your volume goes down when I stand in your space. You're trying to look at the exit, but you're trapped in the heat of the face. I read your receipts before you can even hit send. On the screen, I'm living inside the reaction, Control in the back of the scene, a tactical glance in your eyes, a deliberate pause that you dread. I didn't just guess what you wanted, I'm already 3 steps ahead. Yeah, you call it a game of suspense, but look at how easy you fold. Every defensive maneuver just solidifies my mental hold. Yeah, you cross both your arms at the table, trying to signal design, but you lean your whole weight to the left just to stay in the path of my line. I'm the unexpressed thought in your throat that you're too afraid to let out, the absolute physical certainty killing your shadow of doubt. I watch your composure completely collapse when I step to the side. You're running out of maneuvers, running out of places to hide. I read your receipts before you can even hit send. On the screen, I'm living inside the reaction, controlling the back of the scene, a tactical glance in your eyes, a delivery pause that you dread. I didn't just guess what you wanted, I'm already 3 steps ahead. Yeah, you call it a game of suspense, but look at how easy you fold. Every defensive maneuver just solidifies my mental hold. I already know your next move, don't bother hiding it. The ice is slowly melting in the glass, but neither one of us is taking a sip. Staring at the subtle movement of your jaw, watching how the condensation begins to drip. The room is completely silent, but the air feels crowded with the things we don't say. A heavy intoxicating gravity pulling our composure completely away. I can hear the exact moment your heart rate starts to step out of its regular line. A beautiful chaotic rhythm perfectly responding to the pressure of mine. You're trying to keep your eyes steady, trying to act like you're totally cold, but the temperature between us is a story that's already being told. It's a sensory overload creeping up your neck, a way you can't possibly fight. We are drowning in the micro movements, losing all our logic to the weight of the night. You wanna pretend it's just the atmosphere, blaming it on the dimming of the light, but you're holding your breath so tight, wishing I would step into your side. On the sensory overload, filling up the room till you can't even see straight. You came with a million defenses, but you forgot to lock up the front gate. A deliberate tilt of the shoulder, a slow motion blur that I leave. I didn't just step into your space, I hijacked the air that you breathe. Yeah, you can try to play it indifferent, trying to look like you're completely fine, but your senses are trapped in my circle, and your rhythm is tangled in mine. Too close to look away, every whisper feels like a touch. Yeah, just breathe it in. mattress is perfectly still, but I swear I can still feel the bend. Staring straight up at the ceiling and trying to trace where your shoulders suspend. You left 3 hours ago, but the sheets are still holding your shape in your heat. A sensory phantom hallucination, keeping my chest from a steady complete. I reach to the left in the dark just to catch a reminder of what you put down. But my fingers just cut through the air, finding nothing but cold, empty ground. It's a beautiful mental paralysis, knowing you're gone but you're lingering close. I'm physically sitting alone, but I'm host to a highly emotional ghost. It's a phantom reaction inside of my skin, a tactile memory line. You're blocks away sleeping in your bed, but your presence is heavy in mine. I'm trying to shake off the physical ache, trying to tell myself it isn't real. But my body is rejecting the logic, holding tight to the texture I feel. Feeling your phantom limb touching my chest in the middle of the night. You left a permanent weight on my soul when you stepped out of my life. A deliberate fracture, a beautiful scar, a lingering physical trace. I didn't just let you walk out of the door, you left an imprint in the space. Yeah, you can be blocks away, running your life, trying to clear out your view. But my skin is still keeping the record, refusing to let go of you. Check on the clock by the bedside, watching the numbers turn over in blue. Every tick is a physical mile, pulling me further away from the truth. I'm the casualty of your persuasion, the one who stayed caught in the design, while you're walking around in the daylight, completely erasing my line. I watch my composure disintegrate, feeling the chill of the air on my palms. You spend the whole evening resetting my pulse, now I'm shaking in all of your calm. I'm feeling your phantom limb touching my chest in the middle of the night. You left a permanent weight on my soul when you stepped out of my life. A deliberate fracture, a beautiful scar, a lingering physical trace. I didn't just let you walk out of the door, you left an imprint in the space. Yeah, you can be blocks away, running your life, trying to clear out your view. But my skin is still keeping the record, refusing to let go of you. Still feeling away, still feeling away. Even when the space is empty, yeah, you're still here. Spent the whole week analyzing my motives, trying to see where the angles divide. Asking your friends about my habits, looking for the secrets I keep on the side. But you're looking through a blur lens, missing the obvious play from the start, trying to protect your intelligence while completely exposing your heart. I'm the one variable you can't calculate, the mystery you can't seem to solve. Watching your beautiful confidence slowly and quietly start to dissolve. You think you're keeping a safe distance, watching me from across the clear line, but you've already stepped inside my territory and your focus is mine. It's a total mental eclipse, a sudden blind spot in your careful design. You're trying to map out my movements while you're falling directly in line. Look at how your defenses are crumbling, turning from a wall into sand. You came to investigate a stranger, but you're holding my hand. I'm the beautiful blind spot, sitting right in the center of your perfect deliberate grace, your pride is starting to bow. I didn't just break through your logic, I'm running your entire mind now, yeah. You can try to look for a flaw in the pattern, trying to see where it breaks, but I'm the absolute masterpiece that your heart continuously takes. Completely untraceable. You never saw it coming, did you? But you're exactly where you want to be. You look a little distracted. Let's fix that. I notice how your posture shifts when I walk in the room. You try to change the subject, try to break the heavy gloom, but your pulse is giving answers that your lips are trying to hide. A quiet hesitation while I'm stepping deep inside. I don't need to force a door that you already left unlocked. I can hear your train of thought before it even leaves the dock. It's a subtle pull, a microscopic lean. You're trying to read my mind, but I am editing the scene. Look at how your focus narrows down to just my tone. You're surrounded by a crowd, but you are tracking me alone. I've got a full monopoly inside your headspace now. You try to lock me out, but you forgot the secret how. Tactical whisper, a calculated trace. I didn't take your heart, I just hijacked the whole space. Yeah, you call it a choice, but look at how you spin. Every single path you take just leads to where I win. You're checking on your phone like you are looking for a sign, but every single message is an echo of my line. I'm the uninvited habit that you didn't mean to start, the neurological glitch that is tearing you apart. I watch you pick your words so careful, trying to play it cool, but I already rewrote the game and changed the legal rules. I've got a full monopoly inside your headspace now. You try to lock me out, but you forgot the secret how. Tactical whisper, a calculated trace. I didn't take your heart, I just hijacked the whole space. Yeah, you call it a choice, but look at how you spin. Every single path you take just leads to where I win.